Hello and welcome once again to Nomad's World Minecraft. This episode is going to involve villager trading. I've done quite a bit of trading, gotten rid of a lot of villagers that are worthless to me. If you've watched my villager trading or villager profession video, the tutorial, then you'll understand that some of the villagers just aren't what I'm looking for. And this has nothing to do with the librarians. I want the librarians. What I've done is, first of all, I've brought over some iron blocks. I need to make a anvil over here. I think I need one more. And put the minecart there, put that back in there. As you can see, I've only got 8 emeralds left. I did a little bit of trading with the villagers. All my equipment has mending 1 now, including my axe and my pickaxe back at the base. The only one I didn't get was the bow so far. So I'm gonna get one more of those. I do need to get some more emeralds for that. We'll take care of that in a minute. I got a little bit of bread. I do a little bit of trade. Give these guys some bread. They make a few babies, and I put them over here. Let's check what this guy is. Cartographer. No good. All right. So, currently I don't have any babies being made. This guy hopefully will eventually wander over and drop out. And let's do that so that he can only goes to one direction. I did move some of my toolsmiths, armorers, the farmers, and hopefully I've got a weaponsmith up here too. Let's take a look at the librarians we've got so far. I've got 3 librarians with mending on them. Mending 1. That is the maximum. Oh, here's my paper and some books. I'm going to need those. Let's take a little bit of paper. And let's see, it was number 14. As you can see, I got mending 1 here for 10. That was the best of the 3, so he's the one I'm going to keep. Right now, because it's locked out and I need one more book, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get him to unlock. Come on. That'll give me what I need for the next book. And he's being stubborn. Okay. No. Alright, let's grab a little more paper. I did quite a bit of gathering on my sugarcane farm. Well, not really that much. I've been busy with a number of things. I went to the beach last week, this last weekend. Back to work and feeling pretty good right now, so I thought I'd get another video done. Alright, so that's locked out. Let's do a piece of glass. Come on, buddy. Unlock stuff. There we go. Alright, so that's unlocked. And that's unlocked. Alright, so we put one book there. I can put as many books as I want. I can put as many emeralds, up to 64 on each, of course. And oh, there we go. Okay, so that will give me my mending book for my bow. What I've done, what I've gotten so far, I won't point out each one, but I've gotten Aqua Affinity 1 for 13, which is pretty good. Not something I use, but Aqua Affinity allows you to do mining underwater faster. And I'm going to do another video, or I'll probably mix it with this one, explaining the various enchants. But I've also got Depth Strider, Feather Falling, Fire Aspect, Fire Protection, Fortune, Frostwalker 2. I think I already mentioned that once before. And the guy upstairs needs to get locked up. He is going berserk on the doors. Looting 2, Luck of the Sea, Lure. Those two are for the fishing pole. Mending 1 for 10. That is awesome. I don't think it can get any lower. And I mean, if I find it lower, great. If not, we're good with this guy. Got Protection 3 with that's pretty good. Protection 4 is the max. Punch 2, which is the max. Silk Touch 1 and Thorns 2. So still looking for a few. Mainly I'm looking for that efficiency, which can go up to 5. I'm looking for the infinity for the bow, and I'm looking for the unbreaking, which can go up to 3. I'd like protection to get up to 4 too, but that's not the priority at this point. So as you can see, I've got 4, 8, 9, 9 librarians so far. Number 6 over there, he's worthless. He has what he has, the others are duplicating and at cheaper rates, so he'll go bye-bye eventually. Let's put the paper back in here, put the books, and we'll take the emeralds with us. Alright, so we're going to go back downstairs, get this mending thrown on the bow. And we'll put the anvil right there. And put the bow there. Then book there. And it's going to cost me 5. I have 11 left. And boom. I've got mending on all my equipment. Or at least what's important right now. Alright, let's go up to the next floor. And we're going to look at our farmers. Well, we're not going to worry about the farmers. I think I got 1 or 2. What we're looking for, let's take all of our coal and a little bit of our iron. Now, the way you do trades with these guys, the black rope guys, these guys take coal for their first one, and they will unlock the second tier. They will take iron. So since I've got an iron farm, I'm going to be using a lot of this. So I've already grabbed a whole bunch from the base. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and unlock all these guys. See what they got. Let's see, you're a farmer. And what I need to do is I need to trim these guys down to just the necessary ones. They are counting towards the villager cap, so it's preventing me from getting more librarians. I'm getting about 2 to 3 librarian or villagers, and then I have to wait for them to grow up, and then sort them and get rid of the ones I don't need. So it's starting to take longer to get my librarians going. So we'll go back to this guy here. I got one farmer. Interesting. All right. So he has the iron shovel efficiency 2. Let me pull that up on the laptop. And because I'm going to be using a lot of iron, I'm going to take my secondary account, and he's going to, of course, sit on the iron farm for a while. And there's a bit of iron over there, but I want to build that up. Okay, so let's see. Armorer, weaponsmith, toolsmith. Enchanted iron shovel. Oh, we're looking for the diamond shovel. Okay, so the iron shovel we're not concerned about. So there's the iron pickaxe. But what we're gonna do, that's tier 2, is the iron for emerald and the pickaxe, the iron pickaxe. So now we are going to continue. Oh, cool. He did it. Oh, yeah, that's right, because it's the first time on that trade. All right, so he is now tier 3, and let's do all of them real quick. So all these guys should upgrade to tier 3. Okay. Keep forgetting to change it to the iron. Okay. Took me a while to figure out what I was going to do for this video. I've been so busy with the digging at the slime farm and with real world stuff that I haven't had a lot of time to work on anything. Alright, so they should all be tier 3 now. So the toolsmith, he has the iron shovel, efficiency 2, nothing there, nothing there. And yeah, we'll never do that. I'm never giving him diamonds for emeralds. In fact, I need more diamonds because I'm down to like about 8 diamonds or so. Efficiency 2, the max it can be is 5, so that's not a very good trade. However, for 12 emeralds I can get a diamond pickaxe which can repair my diamond pickaxe. So yeah, that's a pretty good thing. And if I have efficiency 5, which is what I want, on my pickaxe, then this won't degrade the pickaxe that I have at all. So let's see, armor, he's got plain iron helmet. Armors have 4. Yeah, they have 4 tiers. The 4th tier we're not concerned about. It's the 3rd tier has the diamond chest plate. The weaponsmith has the diamond sword and diamond axe at tier 3. So tier 3 on all these guys is what I'm looking for. So we should be good now. Iron chest plate. Let's see. Diamond chest plate. Fire protection 2. Yeah, not the greatest. I'm not sure if that would overwrite if I have a chest plate that is fully exactly the way I want it. I'm not sure that that fire protection wouldn't maybe overwrite something. So we might experiment with that a little bit once, unless we find a better guy. What was he trading for? 16 emeralds. Okay. Let's see. This guy. Projectile. Okay. Protection. That's about as bad. So, all right. So yeah, that one will probably go away. Toolsmith. There's the iron shovel, the iron pickaxe, and efficiency 2. What was the other guy? Efficiency 2, I think. But that was 14. This one is 2 or 12. So I'll keep this guy and get rid of him. I'll probably get rid of him. So I'll keep these 2. That'll be two less. And what's this guy got? Weapons. Okay, unbreaking 1 for 12. That's pretty good. And efficiency for 11. Alright, so that might be our guy. And later I'll go back through and figure out, ooh, look at this. That's actually not bad. And that's only 13. Compared to the efficiency at 12, so yeah, that might be a better, at least a decent start, if nothing else. Thorns. Unbreaking 2, not as good as that guy over there. Looting 1. And, oh, look at that. Unbreaking 3, efficiency 3, smite 3 for 10 emeralds. This guy I'm keeping. Unbreaking 3, that's the maximum. So that would definitely be a good start weapon, or a good start axe. The smite I don't really care about. I think I can only put 4. Some items you can put 5 enchants on. Some you can only put 4. I'm not sure if the axe, that smite might be an issue, but yeah, I can work around that. Efficiency 3 and efficiency 5 is the maximum. So, but it's still, that's a very good starting axe. That would be an axe I would use. I would get a few of these and just use them up. Maybe put mending on them and like use them for my wood chopping. Granted, I only really need 1. Once I got mending on something, as long as I can have a source for getting XP, then you know I'm good. So yeah, I'll go through these guys. I'll weed them out the ones I don't need. Put our stuff back in here, and that's gonna do it for this guy. These guys. Haven't really done anything at the base other than the slime farm. I've got it down to I've got a small area left to do, and then it'll be down to level 45, I believe. Once that is done, you know, or I'll just keep going down, you know, 5 levels at a time. I'm just about, once I finish that little section Then I'm going to move my little hut down to level 40 and keep digging. It's going pretty good. It's just taking a while. I'll get some now that I got the mending. The next priority though is going to be the skeleton farm. That should help me get hopefully get me some bows that I can use, and as well as I don't need the arrows, but it'll give me some bone that I can make bone meal out of. Not something I really use that much, but it can be, if you've got a lot of it, you can do some serious crop harvesting. I do still need to get the farmer going up there. I need to get a lot of crops going, but now that I've got mending, my next priority is the skeleton farm. Let's take a look at this guy over here. I think he dropped, yeah. So we'll close that door. Let's grab some more bread. See if we can't get a little more breeding going on. And I could throw more bread than this, but since I'm only getting basically, 2 or 3 villagers at a time, I don't want to waste the bread. Once I have, I'm thinking about moving the villagers I have. Now that I've kind of got them sorted, I might move it to another location away from these guys so that it doesn't affect the register. It'll free up some of the villager cap, but right now that's gonna take a back burner. So let's go take a look real quick at the slime farm area. There. Drop those off. Okay. Close that door. We'll go take a look at the slime farm real quick, and then we'll be right back. Almost blew up there. A creeper came up on me right as I was getting in the minecart. Wouldn't have done much damage. A few blocks in some of my rail system, but down at the bottom would have been easier to fix. But see this dark section right here? For some reason, it's like shadowed, and I'm getting some occasional zombies at night. I don't know how they're spawning up here because all these blocks should be occupied, but one thing I wanted to talk about was I just got a new piece of equipment. It was a Sound Blaster Omni Surround 5.1. Not real happy with it. It was about 76 bucks. I thought it was going to help me with my issue with having speakers and a gamer's headset, but yeah, it just doesn't work the way I was expecting it to. It's got some features that are not really what I'm needing, but kind of interesting, like the ability to hear, like if you're playing a third-person shooter or a first-person shooter, you'd be able to hear the enemy from further away. Better directional and all that. I don't have 5.1 speakers, but it has a dial for the volume, which was something I was looking for. I was kind of hoping it had a little digital display. It has some kind of little, maybe it's an infrared, like a remote control thing. But it's got a little plastic, like a clear plastic. Well, it's not clear, but kind of like for the TV remotes. I was hoping it had a display that would show, you know, like 1 through 20 or 1 through 10 for volume, just so I could see what my volume's at, so I could adjust it easy by, you know, no, because it just spins and spins in each direction. So I don't know what the volume is set at, unfortunately. But I like the dial feature for adjusting my volume. Plus, if I push the button down, you know, it just click and it'll mute the speakers. I don't know if it'll mute the microphone though. That's what I'm actually looking for. So it may not be what I'm looking for. I might go away from the headset and get a standalone microphone and then just use the speakers. That may be the solution for my problem, and hopefully I can find a microphone that has a mute button. That's what I'm really looking for, is that mute button. The dial, yeah, I can adjust the speakers, and maybe I can find another mute button for that, so that I don't have to adjust the volume. But as you can see, that's what's left of the little section there. We're at level 50 right here, and I went down 5. All this area here was dirt and gravel. There's still some gravel there, but I stopped because I just kept going, and it was like, okay, I'm trying to get this level here, these 5 levels done. Now that I am going to be using the iron and the coal for my on my villagers, I may come back and take all these resources here. The iron isn't as big of an issue because I've got the iron farm, but the coal, it's regular coal, it's not the charcoal, so I don't have an infinite supply of that. But yes, I can come in here and finish this up, and then I'll start on the next 5 levels. There was a zombie spawner here. I already knew about it. Came across it again. I was like, what the heck? And then I looked at my notes and I saw, oh, I already found it, because I had a bunch of torches on it, so it wasn't spawning. I thought about it. It was right on that. No, I think it was on that block right there. That block or that block had the spawner on it, and I thought about it. You know, maybe putting a little cap around it. You know, but I've got another zombie spawner at another location, so, and I'm not really concerned about a zombie farm. Yeah, I can get a lot of rotting flesh from these guys, which I can then trade to the priests or the clerics and get emeralds, but that's not a top priority. So I went ahead and destroyed it, and it gave a decent amount of experience when I destroyed it, but so yeah, as soon as I get that cleared out, then I'll move all the stuff down in there. Then I will clear out this, and then I'll get started on the next 5 levels, which is right there. And I have dug down. Got a little bit of stuff going on in here. That'll help me with clearing out, because it's already, you know, got some stuff cleared out. I made these little platforms here every 5 levels, just so I could, you know, have a little marker. There's some resources that I'll probably grab. And then, of course, I hit Bedrock, and I went ahead and dug all the way down to the bedrock right here. Now, this is the boundary, not the stairs, okay? So, that was something I was keeping the stairs on the outside of the boundary of those chunks. So I dug all the way down, and then I refilled in with the cobblestone to give myself a flat surface here. Obviously, that's only 3 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, yeah, level 5. So, and so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 more kind of like section levels to do. But yeah, it's going kind of slow, but you know, I've been kind of busy, so I'd like to do more videos, but it's really hard to find the time, you know, with work and everything. So I do as many videos as I can. Let's see real quick. All right. So what we're gonna do now, I want to talk about. I'm not sure if this comes through or not. Let me cut away and I'll put the spreadsheet up, and we're going to talk about these enchants. I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully you can, but if you can, then I probably should just do this video this way. But let me check that and I'll be right back. Alright, I am back, and yes, it does come through. You're able to see this spreadsheet. That's awesome. And it just shows where it's overlapping the game window. So what I want to talk about first is these are all the enchants that are available in the game. Not Bedrock though. This first group, they're in alphabetical order. This first group is the ones that are available in the Bedrock edition, and you'll notice the numbers. That is the max level in the Bedrock version. One thing to note, if you take 2 items that have let's say you have power 1 on 2 axes, or power is bows. So if you have 2 bows and they both have power 1 and you merge them on the anvil, they will become it will become 1 bow and it will have a power 2. So I may have mentioned that before, but it's worth noting here while we're talking about enchantments. So you can go up to level 5, and in the Wikipedia it also talks about some of these level 5s are unobtainable from villagers. You have to get them from the enchant table. However, I have not found that to be true. There was of all the enchants that I had that I like, I had managed to get all of them to max level, with the exception of looting 3. I'd had like looting 2 or something like that. And currently I have looting 2 available to me, but you know, we'll just keep looking through librarians and see if we can't find some looting 3. If we need to, we can take a couple of swords, make a looting 3 sword that's diamond, and then try and merge that with the sword I have and see if that works. So these ones are all Bedrock. These ones here are Java. Alright, so they're not available in the Bedrock edition. These ones are cursed. Curse of binding means you can't remove it. Let's see if I can pull up the different enchants. Curse of Vanishing. That one is and Java. When I'm talking Java, I'm also talking about console editions. The ones that are not part of the Bedrock version. So Curse of Vanishing, when you die, that item will totally disappear. Alright, so even if you get back to your corpse in time, that one's going to be gone. So you might have a good item, but if it's got the curse of vanishing, yeah, it's going to be bye-bye when you die. Curse of binding, you can't remove it unless you die. And I'm pretty sure it will, or when it breaks, yeah. So if the player dies or the item breaks, then it will come out of that equipment slot. That only obtainable from chest loot, fishing, or trading for enchanted books. Counts as a treasure enchant. Interesting. So, then Sweeping Edge. This one's kind of nice. I would like to see them get this one into the Bedrock version. This one is basically does kind of like a sweep damage. So if you've got 2 or 3 mobs in front of you, it'll damage most of them. I think there's like one that it does the most damage to, and then it tapers down to the the last mob will take less damage. So each one will progressively take less and less damage. But you're able to, if you're farming an XP farm or something, and you're that's one attack, and you're hitting maybe 5 mobs, and that can be useful for XP farms. These ones here, loyalty, impaling, riptide, and channeling, those will be available in the next update, the big update for the Aqua update, which is going to have lots. These go on tridents, which will be a new weapon that is coming in that game or in that patch. And so when that happens, we'll talk about those. They're kind of useful, like loyalty. Basically turns your trident into kind of a boomerang. It comes back to you. Impaling, I believe, is a damage bonus. Riptide allows you to move fast in the water for short bursts. And let's see if I can find these. Let's see. Loot, loyalty. They are available in the snapshots on Java Edition. Let's see. Riptide launches you in the direction. And let's see, unbreaking. Where is it? Riptide. No, I already talked about that. Channeling. That is the one I'm looking for. Bear with me. Channeling. Summons a bolt of lightning when a mob is hit by a thrown trident. Does not work attacking melee. So if you throw the trident at something, it will summon a bolt of lightning. Oh, that's if there's currently a thunderstorm going on. Okay. Mob must be exposed to the open sky in order for the enchantment to work, and must be in a biome where it rains or snows. That means that this enchantment does not work in hot, dry biomes. So it sounds like it just does a little extra damage under the right conditions. Let's look at impaling real quick. I think that one just does, deals more damage that live in the ocean, such as cod, salmon, pufferfish, squid, and guardians. So there's that one. Okay, so that one is just on the stuff that live in the water. All right. Now, taking those ones away, we're left with just the bedrock ones, and I kind of grouped them up a little bit. Not by gear. Some of them are gear related, like these ones here. This is for fishing poles. Luck of the Sea gives you increased chance for good loot when you're fishing, and lure 3 speeds up how quickly you catch fish. That's kind of useful. You can get books when you're fishing. You can get just about anything. I don't know that you can get the maximum level on some of the stuff from the books, but it's another way of getting like mending books and whatnot. You can get the Infinity book and the Mending book. These 2 books are not available from the enchant table. Okay, you have to get them either from fishing or from villagers. So we've got this one. You can get these off of equipment that drops from mobs. So this is usually how I get from a skeleton farm. That's how I usually get an Infinity one. Occasionally I've run across, like in normal or hard mode, I've come across more skeletons that have enchanted bows, and typically I'll end up fairly quickly ending up with a bow with Infinity one, which is really nice at the beginning of the game because you don't have a lot of arrows, you don't want to use resources, that kind of thing. Let's talk about, these are the water ones. Okay, Depth Strider and Frostwalker, that's for boots. Respiration and Aqua Affinity, I believe Aqua Affinity is helmet. Respiration is helmet. Let's look at Aqua Affinity real quick. Yeah, helmet. Alright, so Respiration and Aqua Affinity are for the helmet. Depth Strider and Frostwalker, that's the boots. So these are all related to dealing with water. Okay, that's why I grouped them like that. Depth Strider allows you to move in the water a little bit faster. Aqua Affinity lets you mine faster. Am I missing one? No. Respiration. Oh, Depth Strider. Start with that one. Respiration. Pretty sure I have it right. There's one that deals with being able to see in the water a little bit better. Oh, went past it. Okay, yeah, respiration increases your underwater breathing time by 15 seconds per level. So if you have a level 1, you'll get an additional 15 seconds underwater before you need to come up, before you start taking damage. It also grants a chance to not take drowning damage, and I'm not going to go into the math on that because it depends on the level. But so Respiration 3 would give you additional 45 seconds underwater. That can be useful. Plus it also increases your underwater vision up to level 3. Level 3, I'm guessing it may not be 100%, but it says that level 4 doesn't work. You can only go up to level 3, but if you use commands somehow, or some on the console editions or whatever, you can get to level 4. But it supposedly makes the resembles swimming in ice slush. So that's over 100% visibility improvement, and so yeah, that doesn't sound good. So it may not be 100%, but it sounds like something I'd like to experiment with when I have it, and just to see, because when I go in the water right now, it's like, yeah, you got to get pretty close to stuff before you can see anything. Now, if you take something like lanterns, not torches, but lanterns, I forget what they're called. glowstone lanterns. I don't remember. There's a couple of different blocks that give off light, like the glowstone blocks. There's also another one that you can get through the Guardian Farms, the Ocean Monuments, that you can make, and those you can put those down in the water and it'll light things up pretty good. So yeah, we'll play around with that. Frostwalker 2, let's see, Depth Strider, that was it improves your speed. I think that's swimming speed. I don't think that allows you to walk on the on the floor of the water. Yeah, each level reduces the amount of water slows you by 1/3, and you can go up to 3. So level 3 will make you swim as fast as you walk on land. Doesn't sound like. Also reduces the speed at which flowing water pushes you when you're standing still. Does not increase vertical speed, so going up or down doesn't help with that. But now, something to note about Depth Strider and Frostwalker. Only one of them, you can put both of them on a piece of equipment, but only one of them will, no, it says mutually exclusive, so that sounds like only one of them can be on the piece of equipment. In using commands, which I don't have the ability to do that, in Bedrock, or at least I've never learned how to do that. You can combine both and they'll function normally, but basically just assume that you're only going to get one of these on there. The Aqua Affinity and Respiration, it sounds like you can get both of them on a piece of equipment, so on the helmet. So if you were making a set of gear for going in the water to do something, then that would be useful. So that helps you to move around in the water faster. That's mining, and that's breathing and vision. Frostwalker allows you to walk on the water. What it does is it turns the block under you and a certain radius around you into ice, so that you can walk on it. That's very useful because then you don't need boats, and you can run around on the water and whatnot. I find that quite useful. Occasionally it gets annoying because I accidentally walk too close to one of my infinite water sources, and then it turns the source blocks into ice, and if I've got something covering so that it never gets exposed to sunlight or near torches or anything like that, then they never turn back, and then you got to do it manually. So it can break some things like your iron farm, the water source blocks that you have up there. If you were to go get too close to one of the corners, then it would turn that to a block of ice. It wouldn't melt because it's not exposed to the air, or to the sunlight, and then you would have a section of your iron farm where the water's not pushing the iron golems into the trough, into the tube in the middle. So but I find it quite useful for getting out somewhere, running around looking for an ocean monument, whatnot. If you're just out exploring, it also allows you to pretty much just ignore the water, because you're just you can use the water as if it's a trail, and it's just making the ice instead. I've grouped these four here: protection, blast protection, fire protection, and projectile protection. They're all max level 4. They all do exactly what it sounds like. This is your missiles, so like your arrows. I'm not sure if it deals with anything like reducing like fireballs that are thrown at you or anything like that, but I just assume that it's just arrows. Not a big priority for me. Fire protection. not a bad idea to have a suit of armor. These are all, by the way, just armor pieces. You can have these on each piece. So all four of your uh, armor pieces can have these protection enchants. Fire protection, if you've got, I don't know how much it takes on your gear. Might have to play around with that, find out, how many pieces of gear need fire protection for, because I'm not going to mess with below that. That way, that you can then stand in lava and not take any damage. I don't remember. I can look up the information, but it's not something I deal with much. But having a set of gear, so when I'm in the nether and I'm doing some stuff, that I'm protected from the lava if I accidentally drop into the lake. Blast protection, like the creepers. TNT, if you have some TNT that blows up, you're going to be protected from the blast. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, I believe that doesn't mean all the damage, just the blast damage. You're going to take less, okay? If you have all your gear up to level 4 on this, then you probably won't take any damage from the blast, but you may still take a hit from, like, if like TNT probably won't do anything to you, but if you got thrown up in the air and you came back down, the fall damage. Or a creeper they don't hit you, but they, that when they blow up, there may be a little bit of a normal hit that they give. That's also something I don't really mess with too much, though. I don't, I just try and stay away from creepers and skeletons, so and just hit them from range. So the fire protection, that's for another set of gear, not for my main gear. My main gear is the generalized protection from damage. That's going to do, let's get down there, protection, regular protection, there we go. Reduces all damage except damage from the void, which is when you fall through the bedrock and there's nothing down there, so or in the end there's a big void, so that can still kill you. The kill command, which I don't have, and it won't protect you from hunger. So hunger damage, once you're hungry and you're taking damage from that, it's not going to protect you from that. Damage reduction, upper limit cap. If you have all 4 pieces at level 4, you can still take damage, but you're going to take so much less. I mean, we're talking like if you have diamond armor, all 4 pieces, and you have protection 4 on all 4 pieces, you're going to take a lot less damage. So when you're playing on hard mode, yeah, you're definitely going to be looking for this, because in hard mode, if without any armor, a creeper will one-shot kill you. And that surprised me. I wasn't thinking about it because I was so used to being able to take a hit from a creeper. And then I played hardcore mode once, and yeah, he one-shotted me, and I was like, okay. So now these are mutually exclusive, so you can only have, on each piece of equipment, you can only have one. Okay, so now you can put blast protection on one, fire protection on another, projectile protection on another, and then generalized protection on the 4th one. That's if you need it, I mean, if one piece of equipment with fire protection 4 was enough in lava to not do any damage, then I'd say, okay, yeah, I'd definitely throw that on. But I think it's going to take 2 or 3 pieces, and that's taking enchant slots from other enchants that you may want. So eventually we'll get around to experimenting in creative and see what we can do with make for our best main gear and for backup gear, which I'll need to get doing some mining and get some more diamonds because I'm short on those. These ones are for your weapons. Okay, now that can I'm mainly dealing with the sword. Okay, I don't think of the axe, the pickaxe, and the shovel as being weapons. They do damage. You can use them as a weapon, but and these don't include the bow. Okay, you don't put these on the bow at all. Let's see, Bane. Okay, Bane of which is spiders. This one's spiders. This one's the undead. I like this one because it when having a secondary weapon with this on it. If you're dealing with well, like let's say your skeleton farm, this basically you can kill stuff quickly. Put some mending on there so that it you maintain the durability. Put some unbreaking so it slows the durability loss down because mending by itself doesn't necessarily always, I like combining the two. Put some looting on there so that you get better loot from the mobs. Yeah, you're gonna get some serious XP if it's a nice efficient skeleton farm or any zombie farm or spider farm or whatever. But again, this is just your zombies, your skeletons, and what's the other undead? Zombie pigmen, and your the ones that are in the nether. I can't remember what they are now. The black skeletons. Let's see. The one for spiders also isn't just spiders though. It's spiders, cave spiders, silverfish, and endermites. Okay, now silverfish and endermites, those are in. Well, I don't think we have actually any spawners for silverfish, but there is a spawner for one of, I think it's the endermites, that come out of the fortress, the end fortress or stronghold. So right by the portal, and then some of the blocks as you're exploring there. If you break a block, sometimes it'll have endermites in it. It's either endermites or silverfish. I always get the two confused. To me, they look pretty close. They're just little cockroaches that are on the ground, and they kind of have a Zerg mentality. You get a bunch of them, and they'll just all be after you, and yeah, they can get bad real fast. Let's see, sharpness, like the protection. This is my main go-to. Okay, this is your generalized damage increase to your weapon. So this is the one I use. I don't really mess with the spider one. I usually have a secondary for smite, but this is my main one for my sword, and I don't put it on my tools. All right, it's just my sword. Infinity 1, that is for the bow only. Okay, Mending 1, we've talked about why I've grouped these together, because you can't get these off of the enchant table, only villagers and fishing. But Infinity can go on the bow as well as power. Okay, I believe Flame 1 is also the bow. Yeah, Flame 1, that does a when you hit something with with your bow, it's going to take a dot of fire. and it doesn't last very long, but it does some additional damage. It might stack with power. I can't remember. So having, yeah, I'm pretty sure they stack. So you can have, your generalized damage. So you got a big hit and then a little extra fire burning damage. Typically, anything that's pretty strong, couple of hits, and it's going to be dead anyway. The fire aspect that goes on your weapon, that one is so in this case sword. It says no secondary items, so it's just the sword, but I'm not sure that's accurate, but we're not concerned about the tools being used as weapons. This also, when you hit something, will do a fire dot, which is damage over time, which is just something that every so often hits them with a little extra damage. Feather falling that goes on your boots, that just reduces your damage from falling. I've actually dropped a few times and taken very little damage because I've got feather falling 2. Feather falling can go up to 4, and I'm not going to test it out, but I'll definitely have feather falling on some gear, on my boots somewhere, when I'm not out doing something that requires me to be more protected. This would be really useful for just generalized exploring, out doing farming and running around and stuff, because then if you fall, if you're mining and you fall through, this will reduce the damage you take. I've taken very little damage and fallen amounts that I thought would have killed me from full health, and so feather falling 2 is pretty darn good, so I'm really looking forward to I'm not going to test it, but I'm wondering how far you can fall with feather falling 4. Thorns, this goes on your armor. It can go on all 4 pieces, and anything that hits you, you're going to take damage from, but it's going to take damage from you. So in addition to you hitting them to beat them down, if they manage to hit you, they're going to take a little bit of damage. Now, I'm not sure. I think this might be a dot also. Thorns down here a ways. Gives a chance, basically 15% chance per level. So that would be 45% chance maximum of inflicting 1 to 4 hearts, which in this case isn't really one. It's not 1 to 4 hearts of damage. It's they consider a heart or the damage 1 to 4 to be half hearts, so it can do looks like level 3 would be 2 full hearts of damage. Now that may be a difference depending on what difficulty level if you're hard mode versus easy mode, you may get more. In addition to normal damage or durability reduction for being hit, reduces durability by 3 points when inflicting damage. Okay, so if you get hit, your piece of equipment is going to take 1 point of damage. If it uses thorns, you're going to take a 3-point hit on your durability for that piece of equipment. Yeah, that's not very good. I typically use it, but that sounds like it reduces your durability pretty fast. If you have thorns on multiple pieces of armor. Each piece is will separately inflict thorns damage to the attacker. So if I have 4 pieces of armor with thorns on it, they'll each have a chance, up to 45% chance of doing additional damage to the mob. But only 1 piece of equipment will take the durability hit. And that's chosen randomly. So 3 pieces, say three out of the 4 do the damage. Only one of those 3 is going to take the durability damage. And it sounds like it's just a hit damage to the mob, not a dot. So I would have expected that to be a dot, but it just does damage. So thorns and say, where was the one, like fire aspect? I don't know. Anyway, you could combine, obviously you can combine some of the enchants together to get some pretty good combinations, but just try and not get hit. You don't need some of this stuff, and it reduces the need for like the thorns, and if you don't fall, then I tend to do all these rails up in the sky, so this comes in handy when I'm building those rails. Okay, let's go back up here. Knockback and punch 2. I grouped these for a different reason. You can use both from what I'm seeing, and I apologize for not being like totally like solid on these things, but it's like some of them I don't use very often. Like I don't use either one of these, but knockback basically has a chance to push the mob back. So you hit it with your bow. Oh, the punch is just for the bow. Let's see, what's knockback? Maybe that one's only for the regular weapons. Okay, knockback is for the swords, punch is for the bows. Alright, I thought you could use both. It's just what it sounds like. It just when you hit something, it throws the mob back away from you a little bit. Obviously level 2 throws it back a little further. Punch does the same thing, but it's for the bow. Now there is a chance to do a knockback regularly without these. When you hit something, it does tend to get pushed back a little bit, but these just increase the distance that it gets thrown back, so you can really throw something back. So say you got a zombie that's on, or several zombies, if you had something like sweeping edge, you could take a swipe at them and it would all get knocked back a little bit, and then you'd be able to step back and pull out your bow or put some distance between them, or whatever. So these are just the knockback ones. Again, this is for the sword, this is for the bow. We already talked about the fishing pole enchants. Definitely throw some mending on there and breaking, and you've got when you're fishing, you can actually get, anytime you get something, you have a chance to get some XP. So if you had like in Java or the console edition, you had an automatic fish farm, which is basically your character would just keep fishing automatically while you're off doing, sleeping or working or whatever, while you're AFK. The unbreaking would of course reduce the durability. The mending is going to, anytime you fish up something, if you don't have anything else with mending on it, then it's going to repair your fishing pole. Put your luck of the sea, to get better loot. lure 3 to speed up the process. Um, that's really all you need. I don't think you can use looting or fortune on the fishing pole, um, but you can get a solid amount of gear just from automatic fish farms. Um, Unfortunately, I've tried like 8 different fish farms, automatic fish farms, and none of them work the way they're supposed to, or at least not for automatic AFK fishing. Um, they work while you're there doing the clicking. Um, it'll, like you throw the line in to the water and it will fish and automatically catch what you're, you know, whatever gets on the hook, and it'll drop it into the chest. But it won't recast. And that's the problem with the Bedrock that I've found is it doesn't recast the line. So you have to be there to do it. Um, so hopefully they'll eventually get something going. Somebody will figure out something, or I'll find somebody that has one that actually does work. And yeah, that'll be one of my ways of anytime I'm sleeping or working, one of my accounts will be doing this fishing because you can get a lot of good stuff. Um, and you can get fish, lots of fish, and just generalized. It's kind of junk. You're just basically getting random stuff, so you're getting a lot of junk, but enough of it can be useful in some fashion. So, uh, and if you're sleeping or working, and your computer's going, it might as well be doing something like this. Because see, like the guy that's up by the iron farm, he's not doing anything else. He's just standing there. If he was fishing automatically, then that would be 2 things he'd be doing for productivity. Okay, Silk Touch. I think I've talked about this one. Uh, that is basically if you mine something, it's going to give you the block. Now, not every block will it give you the item, but like if I mine up a stone block, it's going to give me the stone block, not the cobblestone. If I mine up, say, a block of gold or coal or diamonds, it's going to give me the block. It's not going to give me the actual loot. Um, which can be useful because let's say you're talking like redstone and lapis. When you've got something like fortune on it, you're going to get more. So let's say you got, typically on average you get 5 redstone. Well, if you've got 3 fortune or fortune 3 on your pickaxe, you might get 10 to 12, so you would fill up your inventory a lot faster. By getting just the block, you can then take those blocks back to your base because it'll just be the one block at a time, and you can then set those blocks next to each other, stack them up, and make a big old wall or a big old block of them, and then go back with something that doesn't have Silk Touch but does have your Fortune 3 on it, and harvest all those. And so some people have 2 pickaxes. One has a Silk Touch when they go out mining on mining sessions, and then they come back and they've got Fortune 3 on a pickaxe back at their base. I tend to just go out with Fortune 3 and just collect, and just when my inventory is full, I just hightail it back to my base, unload, and go back out. Unbreaking, it just reduces the chance to take a durability hit on your equipment. So Unbreaking 3, that's very useful. Combined with the Mending, yeah, I like that. It takes a while to get through something, and then I take that piece of equipment and go to my skeleton farm or whatever farm, my XP farm, and repair it. Looting, that's going to give you better loot from mobs when you kill them. Fortune 3, that is better, uh, or more resources from whatever you're mining. Um, so like your diamond blocks, when you do a normal, when you don't have any fortune on it, you'll get 1 diamond. Fortune 3, um, let's see if it has some numbers here. Fortune. Um, let's see, level 1. Let's see, we're talking coal, diamond, emeralds, nether quartz, and lapis. Um, okay. Uh, Level 1 gives a 33% chance to multiply drops by 2, averaging a 33% increase. Now, so that means level 3 would be average of 75% increase. Oh wait, level 3 chance to multiply drop by 2, 3, or 4. 20% chance each. So it's random. It could be a multiplier of 2, 3, or 4 at level 3. Averaging 120% increase in whatever you're getting. So that's really handy for when you're going after your diamonds, as well as emeralds and nether quartz. Coal, not so much, because there's lots of coal out there, and lapis, the same thing. I don't have much use for lapis. Let's see. Let's see. For redstone, carrots, glowstone, sea lanterns. That's what those are called. Sea lanterns. Melons. Your crops, including your redstone and your glowstone and your sea lanterns. Increases the drop maximum by 1. Maximum 4 for glowstone, 5 for sea lanterns, and 9 for melon slices. For tall grass, to get seeds, increases the maximum by 2. It increases the probability of flint dropping from gravel. So if you're looking for for flint from the gravel, then like if you've collected, like I have, tons of gravel, and if I needed a bunch of flint for something and I didn't need the gravel, then I could set all the gravel down and then use my fortune shovel on it and get a whole bunch of flint out of it, and I would still get some gravel back, obviously, probably like 50%, but let's see, saplings from leaves, apples also from the leaves. So looks like jungle saplings are a little bit different. Level 3 on fortune, saplings, you'll get a 10% increase, or 10%, yeah, probably a 10% increase. No, I'm sorry, it's a 5% if it's not enchanted, so 10% for level 3. Jungle saplings is 2.5% regular and 4.17% for a level 3. So if you're looking to get lots of saplings, the fortune on your axe is very useful. But you need to go after the leaves, which that I tend to not do with my axe because it reduces the durability. Silk Touch and Fortune are mutually exclusive, so you can only have one of them on there. So yeah, you definitely want to have one with the Fortune and one with the Silk Touch, not both. I don't really deal with the Silk Touch myself, mainly because I'm not really concerned about my inventory getting full. most of the time, and when I'm going out mining, I'll take the cobblestone. If it would give me regular stone, then that's what I would build with. But I'm not going to put silk touch on there just so I can build everything out of regular stone. Um, Again, I don't go for aesthetics so much as um, functionality. That's my main thing. Sometimes I like, I want to make something look a little bit better, but usually I make improvements to make something work better, more efficient. Apples, 0.5% when not enchanted. When it's got a level 3 enchant, it's a 0.833%. So not much of not much of a boost for apples, but when you combine that with the saplings, it might be worth using an axe to go after the leaves if you need the saplings and the apples. The apples, I think there's a recipe for apple pie. But usually I don't eat apples by themselves, so golden apples. You can make the gold apples, which can be useful, but because golden apples will well, I'll talk about that in a second. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any other recipes for the apple other than just eating it normally or turning it, which gives you a little bit of hunger and restores some of your hunger and a small amount of hunger saturation. So apples are a good thing for if you're running out of other stuff, but it's so easy to make a chicken farm. Why not do that? Golden apples. I want to look at that real quick. This is a special food that can be eaten by the player. Also, it can be used to help turn the zombie villagers into regular villagers, which we've done a little bit of. And of course, you have to use a splash potion of weakness first, and then use the apple on them, and then the golden apple used to be called a notch apple. It's let's see. Oh, the notch apple was an enchanted golden apple, which has stronger effects, but that's only available in console in Java. The regular golden apple is available in just in the Bedrock. Well, it's available in all of them, but Bedrock only has the regular golden apple. Let's see. Absorption. Okay, so it gives you two, in addition to replacing 4 hunger and some saturation, it gives you some benefits for a little bit. The regular golden apple gives you absorption, which I believe is a damage buffer, so you take less damage for 2 minutes, and it gives you a 5-second regeneration, and that's a regeneration 2 for 5 seconds, so it helps restore some health. Not something I'm going to go out of my way because golden apples require gold bars, and it requires 8 gold bars plus 1 apple to make a golden apple. So yeah, unless you have an infinite source of gold, not worth it. If you're playing the Java or console edition, then Uh, Enchanted golden apple has the absorption 4, so an improved absorption. That's still for 2 minutes. Regeneration 2, that's the same, but it has a 20-second. So that would be a pretty good, you know, in a combat situation. Fire resistance, 5 minutes, and regular resistance, 5 minutes. So, but other than that, it not really useful for anything. Apples, you know, they're apples can be fed. Looks like to go back to there. Apple to horses. I'm pretty sure. So horses probably will follow you around if you've got an apple in your hand. I don't have much use for horses because you got to tame them and put a lead on them, and you know, and all that. And it's just the travel benefit is not really there for me. Okay, last one, efficiency 5. Okay, this improves the speed at which you mine or chop trees or dig with the shovel. Okay, so that one, efficiency, was there any others? I think it's the, yeah, the pickaxe, the shovel, the axe, and the shears can also have efficiency. Not that that really matters because it's just a quick snip and they're sheared. So efficiency on the shears is really pointless. But it increases the speed at which all blocks are then mined to drop whatever the blocks, and so that's a good one to have when you're out mining. I'm really looking forward to finding some efficiency to throw on my pickaxe, but I'm going to get that skeleton farm going so that I can utilize my pickaxe for this here mining project. All right. Once I have that efficiency, now that I've got mending on my tool, on my tools, this is going to go quite a bit faster once I've got the efficiency. Right now, I don't have any efficiency vendor or any librarians with efficiency on them, but once I get the now that I've got mending, you know, I can at least come in here with my pickaxe that I do have. I don't have it on me, but I think it does have an efficiency on it already. Plus there was a toolsmith, I believe, that had efficiency 3. So yeah, I'm going to be looking pretty good here pretty quick. So that's going to do it for this video. The next video I'm going to talk about and show how to do the skeleton farm. I'm going to try and get that done probably tonight after work, and that way I can get some of this equipment repaired. As you can see, I've everything is 100% right now. I think that's due to having just put mending on all that, because I could have sworn the levels were down. They probably weren't down very much, and I haven't really done anything that's taken any damage. So I've killed a few things that had some XP, and I might have repaired any damage that was already occurred on these. So one thing about the mending though is the best way to do it seems to be that, like, utilize just your fist. All right, pound on something that's going to give you XP, like the skeleton at the skeleton farm. And you know, let's say you've got some gear here that each of these pieces need to be repaired, and as soon as one piece is repaired, pull that off. That way that XP has fewer places to go. If you're looking to just repair one piece, you know, just make that one piece the only piece that's on you, that's equipped. In your inventory, these pieces will not, the XP won't go to these. It'll only go to these 4 pieces and whatever is currently in your hands. So if I have the sword or the bow, you know, equipped, and that's what I'm using, what I've done in the past, so that I don't take a durability hit before the mending. I'll do like a, you know, hit the mobs, do the damage, and then when they die, I back up or quickly switch to the tool or weapon that I need to have repaired. And then that way the XP has a chance to go to that particular tool. And as far as I know, since I've got like the sword and the bow, only the sword would be obtain the durability repair. All right. Now, with all these, it would be all 4 plus whatever is equipped. So, if you can focus it, and it's every time you get XP, it's a chance. All right. The mending doesn't repair every time, but you know, putting unbreak. That's why if you put unbreaking on all these, it reduces, you know, reduces the durability loss that you take on these things. So that way, you know, you don't have to. The mending doesn't have to work so hard. You know, you don't have to keep going back to the skeleton farm so often. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you liked it and learned something from it. It didn't take me too long to do the spreadsheet, but you know, I spent some time thinking about how I wanted to approach this. I was going to do it in creative, and then I thought, well, you know, this probably isn't going to take that long. I know this video probably took an hour. Haven't looked at the time yet, but between show and tell of what I've done so far with the librarians and the progress update for this, and all the talk that I've done, you know, it became a long video. So hope you liked it. Please be sure to share and subscribe and leave me some comments, please. And if you know of a good microphone, standalone microphone with a mute button, and probably a mute button for my speakers, that would be very appreciated. I'm really thinking that this Sound Blaster Omni surround thing, it was just a waste of money. It may be just I'm not using it properly, but it's definitely not working the way I was expecting it to. So I am going to put that on the shelf and look for a standalone microphone, because I'm looking to fix my little sound and microphone issue. All right, catch you on the next video. Thank you.